All right, so we should be live here. We want to do some question ones. This is the first in a series of videos. We're going to do revision straight up to the exam. Today I'm focusing on Maths CSEC Maths question ones, and we just jump straight into it. But before I do that, let me just turn off this because I don't want to hear myself echo. All right. So question one in CSEC Maths likes to ask these kind of questions. You get questions on fractions, and what is important in this one is that they want you to express the exact value. So this is the first time I'm using Google Jamboard, well, not first time in a while. I normally use another one. So they want you to do the exact value. So, and they say with or without the use of a calculator. So I could just straight up put this into a calculator and get the answer. That is the very first thing I want you to do in the exam. So like, the first thing you do in a maths exam is look at question 9, the circle geometry question, and you think up of all the ideas that you have to find the angles and you write it down as fast as possible. And then you go back and do question 1. So, but when you start question 1, if they say use a calculator, use a calculator. If they say use a calculator and just make sure you get the answer. And you all seen my calculator there, seen why I love this calculator. You can just put in the fractions naturally, nice and proper. And this calculator will organize BODMAS for you, everything. So you can literally type the answers. You see it on your paper. Type it just how you see it on your paper. And press equal. Boom. And we know we're looking for 14/3. Of course, then after you do that, I would advise that you write it down and you do the LCM stuff. If you had to do LCM stuff, you multiply it out. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Let's see if I can race through this. Where's my pen? Let's make it blue. How about blue? So let's say 5 and 5, 6 multiply by 1 and 1/5 minus 2 and 1/3. You all seen that properly on the screen there? Hello, Samantha. Hello, Gamer. Alex. Hello, Chicken Curry, boy. Chicken Curry. I don't need to ask where you from. 5 by 6 is 30 plus 35 over 6 multiplied by 1 by 5 plus 6. Plus 1 is 6. Hopefully you know what I'm doing here. If you don't know what I'm doing here, you're in a rough place, my friend. 2 by 3 plus 1, 7/3. I just want to congratulate all the Golden State Warriors fans. You know, we need to do this separately though. So I'm doing that part here separately. Cancel this 6 and 5 can go into this 7 times. So wait. What are you really telling me here? This is really just 7 minus 7/3. Now, when you have a whole number like 7 and you see a denominator here, this is going to come in the exam for sure. So if you don't know this fraction trick, learn it. What you need to do is say that this number 7 is really something over 3. So we can have the common denominators now. But what over 3 gives me back 7? So it's literally you're just taking 3 and multiplying it by 7 and you're going to get 21. You know that? You know that trick by Joseph, right? So we end up now with 21 minus 7, which is 14/3. And you have your working, and you also have your answer from your calculator here that you can back it up. So we guarantee that we get 2 marks in the exam already. The next question is the same calculator stuff. So what I'll do is I'll start off with a fraction. Now, I don't like to press this button on my calculator. That clears off everything. Instead, press the AC button. I'm giving all your tips right through this, right? You're getting tips right through this. So pay attention and best bring up marks in your exam. So you're pressing this one, and then you're going to put 260 divided by 0.08 to be squared. Every weekday for the next 2 weeks, in the middle of the day, you will catch me here. So what we see in my, I kind of pull it out of the screen. I got this 3258/1000 This one is just straight up calculator. Now, anybody in the chat can tell me why I am not going to, I'm not gonna find no decimal weirdness here. Why would I just leave this as an improper fraction and be confident? Now to switch the decimals, I can press this. I can also put 40.625 in a class. I carry that point in this way, 0.625. I could also put 40.625, but what I definitely cannot do is put 40.6 and say approximating. And the reason I can't do that is because they want the exact value. So exact value, you would either leave it as a fraction, or if you have a decimal, you need to write the full decimal. Now, if you see your decimal places going on and on and on and on, that's an indication that you can't figure out an exact value, right? So this could work in this case, but I would advise that you just leave it as a fraction anytime they say exact value, and you collect your marks, right? Yeah, you're adjusting, you're correct. So you want the exact value. So let's go on. We're just doing question 1 today. It's a nice, these sessions would be no set of trauma, no trauma involved. Let me just make this thing a little small again, a little too big for the boots. Notice how this question is out of 11 marks. It usually is not out of 11 marks, right? Using your answer in, let me just erase off this. Remember, a little new, and now coming back in the game with this Jamboard, Google Jamboard thing. Using your answer in A part to write it correct to 1 decimal place. So we know that it is actually 40.625. And if I want to get this to 1 decimal place, I would have to watch this decimal place here, right? And realize that what comes after that is a 2. It's less than 5. So what's it to 1 decimal place? 40.6. And to 3 significant figures, still 40.6. And to the nearest whole number, 41. Why is in the chat if you understand that? All of those you understand, you must know your approximation in the exams. Approximation in the exams, you must know approximation to significant figures, to decimal places, whole number approximation, whole number. You could occasionally get some kind of place value approximation to like to the nearest 100 or 10 or something that could come out in something, but that is normally SEA stuff. So they literally test you on all 3 in this here. So the next part of question 1 is consumer arithmetic, and let's see what they have in store for us. I might have to be switching between page 1 and page 2, right? But I'm on page 1 right now, so stick with me. So Joseph invested 4,000 in his account on June the 1st, 2020. On June the 1st, 2022, he received this amount inclusive of simple interest. So this is his full amount, his full principal, and we see the principal being included here. So he started off at 4,000. This is his principal, 4,000 plus $280 interest. So what is the amount of interest here? I done answer that already. So let me go on to page 2 and talk about that. So the interest, the formula for that is interest is equal to the amount minus the principal. And the amount was 4,280. What was the amount? 4,280. My memory is undeniable. Minus 4,000 was the principal. So the interest, and this is just for 1 mark, is 280. Now, you might be surprised because a lot of students, when they see a question with interest, the only thing their mind can think of is simple interest is principal by rate by time over 100. So they don't even think to just minus the amount minus the principal. It's so quick to see, right? Let's go back to page 1. You can see that we have Joseph investing 4,000, and at the end he received 4,280. So the interest is the little extra that he get. But every time some people hear about interest, you're only thinking one formula. And don't be surprised, CXC is going to ask you about interest, and you're going to just have to say the amount minus the principal. It's not always going to be simple interest with principal by rate by time over 100. Remember that. So now we're calculating the rate of interest per annum. So the rate of interest per annum is kind of easy to see because it's $280. You divide it by 2 and then you put it as a percentage. But there's a formula that we have for that. Who knows the formula for rate? So all of the formulas, you have simple interest times 100 on top. And then you divide by the other two things. So in this case, we're using rate. So it's going to be principal by time. And just for your information, like if we want to work out principal, it's going to be simple interest times 100 over rate by time. If you want to work out time, it's going to be simple interest times 100 over principal by time, by rate, because time is already there. So we just need to substitute the simple interest is 280. Hi, Darian. Isaiah, was you seeing? So how much of you all have here? 235. Let's just take a little break to press like on the video. And maybe you could take a screenshot and share it on your social media. Every day for the next 2 weeks, I want to try this lunchtime. Between 12:30, we're going to come on and we're going to do some studying, right? So right now we're just studying question 1s. Tomorrow we're going to study algebra question 2s. So if you're getting problems to study, come study with me, man. Come study with me. Multiply by 100 over the principal was 4,000. Multiply by the time is 2 years. So let's get the camera on the screen there. 280. I want to multiply by 100 and then I want to divide by 4,000 and I'm multiplying this by 2. Oh, by 2. 7 over 2 is 3.5%. 3.5%. How many of you all got that? 3.5%. So last part of this question, and then we'll do another question. We'll see how much of this I can do before I realize I had to go and do some work. I have a stockpile of work to do. So what's the last part? Determine the amount of time it would take for Joseph's investment to reach 8,000. I thought that was the highlighter, so I just scratch up my whole thing. At the same amount of time it would take for Joseph's investment to reach 8,000 at the same interest. So at the same interest, we want to determine the time. So we're just going to apply a little time formula here. Knowing that if the investment reached 8,000, if the investment equal 8,000, what's the interest? Therefore, the interest is the amount, the investment, the amount, 8,000 minus the 4,000 is 4,000. So with this new interest, the same rate is 3.5%. We want to work out the time. So excuse me. So time is from this simple interest times 100. We're on page 2 right now, right? Yeah. Simple interest times 100 over P by R. So the interest is not 280 now, it's just 4,000. That's a lot of time this is going to take. Times 100 over 4,000 times rate 3.5. And on our calculator, put that in the calculator and tell me if you get 28.57. If it's looking blurry, you need to raise the, so I'm seeing that 4,000 already cancel it 4,000 here. See that? 4,000 canceling with 4,000. So it's really just 100 divided by 3.5. 100 divided by 3.5 is 28.57. 28.57 class. Again, 28.57. Now, in the exam, I can say 28.57. The interest is compounded annually. You could see that here. Not compounded, added annually, because they actually give you some dates to work with as well. So only at the ending of the year, it will cross. So at the 29th year, he would have 8,000 plus in his investment. I'm running out of space earlier in his investment. So most of the times with these simple interest questions, always see a decimal. Even if it was like 28.3, you always round up. This is one of the cases in mathematics where you always round up. So click these settings. Yes, Adriel B has it. Click these settings and choose 1080p and send that up. So let's do our next question one. I'll just give me a little second to bring up this question one here, boy. Where did I put it? So these questions that I'm taking are from on page 3 here, trying to fighting up with this thing here, boy. These questions that I'm taking are from this book. It's called the Question Bank. And in this book, I have all the usual multiple choice that CXC brings. And I have 5 sample papers based off of like the last set of exams. So it's like a prediction on what comes in the exam. So I'll try to update this book every year. My students, most of them would have gotten this book already. So it's an ideal preparation for the exam. It's the Question Bank. It's for CSEC Mathematics, and it's written by yours truly, Kerwin Springer, from the Student Hub. If you're interested in getting this book, it can be delivered to your door if you're living in Trinidad. You'll just WhatsApp that number below there. So let's go. How do we do this question? With or without the use of a calculator? Calculate the following. Leave your answer to two decimal places is the key here. That's the key. So the key here is that we're going to 2 decimal places. Just making sure my highlighter showing the, yeah, boy, look, my highlighter. All right, so put this in your calculator and see what you get. So from the calculator, for part 1, real calculator, use flying in here, boy, 65.66 minus 2.553 multiplied by 18.62. Now this calculator knows, back to the page, this calculator knows to do the multiplication first. So it operates with BODMAS in mind. But you could literally type it in just so, and as I said, the calculator knows. So if you're feeling a little jumpy about that, you may have to use brackets, right? Especially those with not this calculator. And 18.55 is the answer. Is that the answer we are getting? 18.554? How many of you all got that? From the calculator, I'm seeing 18.5514. So to 2 decimal places, it's 18.55 to 2 decimal places. And the reason being, the 3rd decimal place is not greater than 5. So I don't need to give this a booster. I don't need to give that one a booster. So let's get the other one time and collect the marks and go. So easy questions we're starting off with here. Next, and at least next week, tomorrow, please, God, I'll be doing algebra. Tune in for that. It could be a real important session. Let me jump back in the calculator vibes here. Calculator 8.24 squared over 5.9 minus 7.69. And we get in one long number. So from the calculator, I got 3.8180677797 one star bacchanal. But 2 decimal places, it's 3.81. Hey, no, it's actually 3.82. Now, why is it 3.82? Easy thing. That number, there's a greater than 5, boy. So you have to come here now and get a one a boost. And take a boost there, friend. 2 decimal places. So easy stuff. Easy stuff. Let's go on to the next part of this question, which would most likely be consumer arithmetic. That's a big consumer arithmetic question. Let me know if that's too small. I'm on page 4 here. Let me know if this is good enough for y'all. And on this question, I'm seeing something about a rental, something about food. and then an equation. So they have been doing this weird thing recently by CXC. They're including algebra in the first question, the consumer arithmetic question. So let's read the question. You have a party planner, limited budget. You'll need to figure out how much it will cost a client to rent a space and pay per person for meals. The table below shows the rate for volume 1. Bringing in a volume 2 later on in the question. So you have to pay the rental space and then $9.75 per person for food. So it's really the rate, the standard fee, the fixed cost, the constant, plus X is the number of people by the cost of one person for food. Why is in the chat if you understand what's happening? That's the cost to hold it in volume 1. Beautiful, beautiful. So suppose the client has a budget of 4,000. What is the most number of people that can be invited without, number 1, determine how much the event will cost if 250 people are attended. So C1, for part 1, C1 is equal to 9.75x plus 400. So if x is equal to 250 persons, then C1 would have to be 9.75 by 259. You can't be calling me now. I'll have to take this call, my wife. Yeah, earlier. That was CXE, and CXE called to say good job. It wasn't. And, and CXE would never call me and say good job. All right, so 9.75 by 250. CXE is haters, plus 400. What do you all get for this? 2937.50. Isaiah? Isaiah is sure about that way? Or like anybody else here a different answer? I get 2837.50. So check it over. So that's 1 mark. And suppose the client has a budget of 4,000. What's the most number? So for part 2, it's setting up like an inequality. But you could work it out even if you didn't know to set it up like an inequality. What you're trying to say is that 4,000, whatever we have here must be less than or equal to 4,000. So 9.75x plus 400 must be less than or equal to 4,000. So if I bring across the 400 on the left-hand side of the equation or the inequality, I would have 9.75x here just remaining by itself, and 4,000 minus 400 is 3,600, and that's 9.75x. So I really just need to divide 3,600 by 9.75, right? To kind of zero in on that x value. And if I do that, how much am I getting? I'm getting 3600 divided by 9.75 equal to 4800 over 13. So I'm getting, now I'm gonna do a kind of switch around here, but if I swap left hand and right hand side, I need to flip the inequality sign, right? So this is 369.2. So because what is the most number of people that can be invited? Because we can't have half a 0.2 of a person. We need to say, well, X could only be 369. So how many of you all get 369? Therefore, the least number, the most number, sorry. Most number of people has to be equal to 369. If I go over, it will go over 4,000. If I go 370, so this is one occasion where you always need to round down. Even if this was 369.999, I still need to say 369. I can't say 370 because I would go over the 4,000. So make sure you understand that. There's another part of this that needs to be done. Let me see if I can get that on page 5 and set the background for page 5. So we're on page 5 now. And nice. At where we finish this. We just need to collect with 4 more marks and go. All you want to do one more question, one after this, 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. How many more questions once you all feel we could do? At another location, volume 2, the rental space is 850 plus 7.5 for each. Write the formula. So the formula will be C2 is equal, just like this formula. And instead of X, we using Y. And the fixed fee, how much is the fixed fee? 850. You all seen that? And it's instead of it being 9.75 per person is 7.50. So 7.50. How many of you all got that? Nice. 2 to 3 more? 2 to 3 more. Okay. So we did the formula. Determine the number of people that can attend the event such that the cost to rent either volume 1 or volume 2 is the same. So we want C1 to be equal to C2. For y'all understand that's what they're asking for part 4? That's a straight up algebra move. I was predicting that would have happened. I was feeling it in my heart and soul. When you do enough of these questions, you know where they're coming from one time. So you want C1 to be equal to C2. But C1 is 9.75x plus 400 is equal to C2, which is 7.50y plus 850. But in this situation, we want C1 to be equal to C2. So therefore, the number of people will be the same. So in this case, X is really equal to Y. So I can rewrite this equation as 9.75x and then plus 400 equals 7.50. But instead of putting Y, I could just put X again, plus 850. And now it's just to do some little swappy swaps and see what's going on there, right? So if I switch around everything, you should understand I'll have 850 minus 400. And then I'll have 9.75x minus 7.50x. So 9.75 minus 7.5 should give me 2.25x, and 850 minus 400 should give me 450. We going good so far? Why is in the chat if you're following everything in this live? And then finally, x should be equal to 450, hopefully you get a whole number, over 2.25. And it's exactly how much you'll get. 200 persons. And we finish this question. So you all say 2, 3 more. Let's see if I can squeeze in 1 more. Just give me a couple seconds to grab this. People, how the revision going? How the revision going? If your revision was a movie, what would be the movie title of your revision? What would be the movie title of your revision? So on slide 6 here. Let's see if we can get that background nice. 6. The Night Watchers, Titanic. Zootopia would be titled Slow and Steady. Titanic, Scream, Blacklist. It's easy. Mission Impossible. Sleepy Hollow. Get smart and pass stride. They're very creative, boy. All right, so we have a next question here. With how the use of calculator evaluate. This time, I like how we have differences. We have standard form and giving your answers a fraction in its lowest term. And then, we have a nice, beautiful question here on binary numbers. Looking forward to doing that. We have a question here on depreciation, popular topic. And then, what's this? We have a kind of invoice question here, one of the invoice questions, and percentage. Only 2 marks. 2, 2, 1. So this question is 9 marks. When you look in the exam, don't tell me my battery dead day. When we look in the exam, you're going to see 9 marks for this question. So let me go. Because if my battery dead, party done. I might have to write it with my finger. So 2.4 multiplied by 10 to the power of 3 plus. I'm feeling too I'm feeling too want to do that in my mind. 2.4 multiplied by 10 to the power of 3. I'm going to literally write it out. There's a way you can do standard form, but I want to write it out. Plus 1.72 by 10 to 10 squared. Equated on the calculator, and my calculator is saying that from the calculator, I am getting 2572, but the answer must be in standard form. You all know how to take a number and change it into standard form. You all know how to do that? So you watch where the decimal place is, you move it just before the first non-zero number, which is 2. Reading from here, it's 2. So the decimal point must come right there. And you record how many times you move it. And since you're moving it to the left, it means the number is bigger than 10, right? So you're going to have a positive 2.572 multiplied by 10. You're going to have a positive index here, 3. You move it 3 times. Why is in the chat if you understand that? 2.572 multiplied by 10 to the power of 3. And that's in standard form. Now we need to give this as a fraction in its lowest terms. By the way, an improper fraction is still a fraction. So let's just type this up one time. 2/3 multiplied by a quarter. There we go. Oh no, I didn't divide by anything, syntax error. So you see, I didn't press on, so I can just go back and edit my stuff. Divided by what? By 2 and 2.5. So there's actually, if I press shift and then I press 2 fractions, I can get my mixed numbers. That's the only way to do mixed number fraction. You can't manually put a number and then put a fraction like wireless. So 2.5, bang, 1/15. So from the calculator, I just straight up got that. Now, obviously, I would advise for this question to come back and show the full working. But for now, I already show you how to do the working with these kind of things. For now, I will just it was 2/3 multiplied by a quarter over 2.5. I will just put the answer straight up, 1/15. So express 12 as a binary number. That's part B. Express 12 as a binary number. So how do we take a number that is in denary format, decimal format, base 10, and change it into a number that's in binary format? You all remember how to do this? Do you remember how to do this, class? So you put the 12 here, and you start to do a kind of breakdown thing here. But since you want to go into binary, you do 2. 2 into 12, 6, and you record the remainder every time. And then 2 into 6, 3, no remainder again. And then 2 into 3, 1. 1 is the remainder. My finger touching the screen and making these little dots down on the paper here. And then 2 could go into 1 0 times, remainder 1. So the answer is, therefore, 12 base 10 is equal to, and you read it going up, is 1100 base 2. As simple as that. And if you don't know how to do it, you do get a 1 mark. They ask this maybe twice, they ask like 7, and then they ask 6. It is possible that they could ask a different base. You would just change the number here, right? Okay, let's go forward. So where we at? 4 more marks to collect. A company bought a piece of machinery for this amount. Let's see. Let me go into the next slide and see if I can just post that part alone so I can get some more space. Where is this? There we go. A company bought a piece of machinery for 27,500. In the first year, depreciated by 8% it was, and the second year by 12%. How much is it worth when it's 2 years old? So after the first year, how much is it worth in terms of a percent? It is equal to 100% of the value minus the 8% it depreciated. So this is 92%. So, and after the second year, we need to get 12% less. So there's a way you can do it shortcut with percentages, but let's not go through all of that. I could just do 0.12 and work it out of the 92% and that kind of thing. But let's keep it in the general way that everybody would approach this question. So, so once again, after the first year, in terms of money, after the first year, in terms of money, we expect 92%, which can be written as 0.92 multiplied by the 27,500. How much is that? That is 25300. Making sense? Yeah, that's sounding like a fair number. So after the second year, it's going to be equal to 100 minus, it's going on by 12% in the second year. What is going on with this machinery? 12%. So it's now 88% of first year value. Not the 0 years. Now when you buy it initially, after the first year. So it's 80. So after the second year, so it is worth 88%, which is 0.88 or 88 over 100, multiplied by 25300, which is 22264 after the second year. And you get 2 marks for that. So let's go ahead and get our last 2 marks here. What is going on? The table below shows how many fruits a fruit vendor sold on Saturday. The total amount of each fruit he initially had is given in the third column of the table. This is the amount of fruit he had initially. And this is the amount of fruits he sold. Calculate the percentage of the total amount of fruit sold on Saturday. What kind of standard 4 question is this, boy? Let me make sure I lost the market. So this is a 8, and this is a how much? 558 fruits he sold? No, 68. 68 fruits sold. So if he sold 68 fruits in part D, if he sold 68 fruits, the percentage sold would have to be, so nobody put the answer in the chat yet? It would have to be 68 out of the 120 multiply 100 over 1. What your calculator telling you that is? (56 2/3%). 56 2/3%. Now they didn't sit to round it off to anything, so I'm keeping the exact value. If you round it off, it shouldn't be 56.6, it should be 56.7 or 56.67 or something like that. But I'm keeping the exact value, 56 2/3%. And that's it. These question ones, what you think? You feel you're going to crack the full 9 marks in question 1? You ready for anything? Now we taking the next one. It's starting to get fun now, boy. Usually in studying, it have a few stages that you would pass. So you start studying. The hardest thing to do in studying is to start. But initially, after you finish 1 or 2 questions, you may feel to stop. But then if you keep pressing, there comes a time where you catch it you get in the zone. And boom shot, you do a 2 hours, you do a 3 hours. You surprise yourself, 4 hours of studying straight. And it was productive. It was learning things for real, for real. So lean into that right now. It's no more time. It's no more time to procrastinate. Give yourself a fighting chance. So without the use of a calculator, calculate the exact value of boom and bang. So let's see if we could just ramble up that real fast. This is exam 4. From the calculator for the first part, what are we getting? Exact value. So we back to using fractions. Exact value means keep it in the fractions. So what I'm going to do, I have the fraction set. I'm going to press shift and the fraction to get that mixed number vibe. 7.5. It's important, it is imperative that you learn how to use your calculator for this. That's the skill they're testing here. You know? 3 2/3. And shift again and that. And I'm putting, I know there's a little glare, so I kind of just flashing it across so you can see. 2 1/6. 23 over 13. I don't see no answers there, right? I don't see no answers there. So for part 1, I'll put the answer as soon as you start doing the question, as soon as you see the question, right? So from the calculator, all of this is equal to 23 over 13. And for part 2, calculator time again. Come on, boy. So I don't know what was that. 2.5 to b squared. So like to test the use of indices. See if you really know how to do the thing for real, for real. 3.25 to b squared. You can put it in brackets, but I know my calculator. I know my calculator have my back there. 0.075. Yeah, I expect a negative number. Now, it's very rare that I get a negative number in this case. So they usually do test, don't bring up the negative numbers here. So this is 2.5 from the calculator. By the way, this is the exact value, so I'm not for the first one, so I'm not going to change it. We want it in the exact value. From the calculator, 2.5 squared minus 3.25 squared over 0.075 is equal to negative 115 over 2. Brilliance. Part B. In a large box, there are 16,200 beads, of which 80% are blue and the rest are red. Calculate it. That question too easy, boy. Let me skip that one. Calculate the number of blue beads. So blue beads is going to be 80%, which is 0.80, multiplied by 16,200, which is 1, 2. Yeah, well done. I hack. 12960 blue beads. And for part 2, some beads were used for a bedazzling project. So that there are now 11,340 beads remaining in the box. After the product, determine the percentage decrease in the number of beads. So they just tell you about that red beads for kicks. So I find that could be part of the question too. Anyhow, so the decrease is 16200 minus 1134. And then you take that number and put it over the original and multiply by 100 over 1 to find the percentage decrease. So the percentage decrease is whatever that number was. So I can put it back. 16200 minus 11340. I could write the number over the original, multiply by 100 over 1. And for that, you should get 30%? I'll get 30%. I'm feeling at 30%. According to researchers, the average human blinks every 3 seconds. So if John is awake for 15 hours, calculate the amount of time John blink. So every 3 seconds, you blink, man. Research that. That was not true. That was not true. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Blink. Nah, buddy. You blink like that if your exams are around the corner. maybe if your exams are around the corner, you're blinking like that. All right. So according to researchers, the average human blinks every 3 seconds if John is awake 15 hours. So we just need to find out how much seconds in 15 hours. So in 1 hour, there's 16 minutes. So it's 15 times 60. We're in minutes now. And in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. So it's 60 times 60, or 60 times 60, 3600. And when we multiply that, we get 54000 seconds. And you blink in every 3 seconds. So number of blinks is going to be equal to 54000 divided by 3, which is, according to the chat, 18,000 is correct. Just like that, we rack up our next question on. Let me do one more. One more for the road. One more for the road. One more for the road. How much is this we do, right? 5? Yeah, I think we do 5. 5. Quick. And how long we live? 46 minutes. Not bad. Tomorrow we will try and do 5 algebra questions. Without the use of a calculator, calculate the exact value of 2 3/4 divided by 1/3 plus 1 1/2. I'm fed up at this, boy. All right. Can't get fed up. Revising. This is invigorating me. I can do 1,000,000 of this. I love this. 2 3/4 divided by 1/3 plus 1 1/2. 39/4. Look at that, boy. 39/4. So from calculator, watch me taking my time and writing these things properly. From the calculator, the best calculator out there, we have that 2 3/4 divided by 1 1/3 plus 1 1/2 is equal to 39/4. And that's the exact value. Part B, in March, net salary was this amount. In April, salary increased by 25%, determined. So they bring in percentage increase in 3 ways, and we didn't get to see the hard way. I'm sad that we didn't get to see the hard way. There's a way that they can bring it where they give you the final value and the percentage increase. And there's a little thing you have to do. You have to equate the percentages. But in this is easy. How much percentage increase? For part B, it's a 25% increase. My weekend was so good, I get a bus slip. You know, your weekend was good if you come in Monday with a bus slip. 25%, but I wasn't fighting in the airport or anything. 25% increase means 125% final value. So new salary, taking way too long for this one, Mark. New salary is equal to 125%, which is 1.25, or 125 over 100 multiplied by 3,200, which is 4,000. All right, so let's do this one. In the morning, the bacteria on the surface was this amount. In the evening, it reached that amount. Bacteria going up, boy. Right, the bacteria in the morning. Wait. How is that 2 marks here? I'm not supposed to read it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Something sus about this question. Susness. Write the bacteria in the morning correct to 3 significant figures. So in the morning, correct the 3 significant figures is 219, and you change all the rest to zeros. So 3 significant figures. The most significant figures are furthest away. The higher place value, the more significant. Write the bacteria in the evening in standard form. So it's 274,000. In standard form, that's 2.74. And how much times we move the decimal point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Times 10 to the power of 5. Y'all got those two answers? Yeah, why you, Sean? Why? Now, a lot of y'all that's in the chat, y'all just put 219. A lot of people is do that for significant figures. They write this and then forget to write back the zeros. If you put 219 there, you get wrong. Determine the percentage increase. Oh, there's the 2 marks here. 2 marks here. Supposed to be D. The percentage increase in the bacteria from morning to evening. So the percentage increase, we do this just now, is going to be 274,000 minus 219,000 over the original 219 is 2,200, 219,200. Multiply by 100 over 1. How much you'll get with that? 274,000 minus 219,200. Well, we're finishing this live in a short time. 219,200. A quarter of 100. I'll get 25%. So this is 25%, boy. And the last one, the ratio. So we get a little ratio questions. And CXC really love ratios these last few years. Chances of a ratio question. Hey, 319 people here. Congratulations for being here and studying with me. Yep, T, good to see you. Which country you're from? Shout out your country. Chances of you getting a ratio question for the exam is pretty high. So make sure you know how to do ratios, even the weird way, how they bring it. Where they don't give it, it's hard to figure out for one, you have to subtract 2 of the parts. If the total number of apples and grapes this is the ratio of cherries to apples to grapes. Cherries to apples to grapes. If the total number of apples and grapes is 5, then determine the number of cherries. So the key for our ratios question is finding for one. You need to find something to equate the parts to the number and then find for one part. So apples and grapes represent how many parts? 6 plus 11 equals 7. 17 into 4, 3, 7, yeah, 7, 30. I don't see the answer there, boy. And the apples and grapes also equal to 510 fruits. According to the question, you see where we're going with this? So how are you finding for one part then? How are you finding for one part? Since we reach the end, let's write this one in green. For no reason whatsoever. Just to make the studying interesting. Yeah, the change the color of the pen. All right, so therefore 17 parts equal 510 fruits. So one part would be equal to 510 divided by 17, which is 30 fruits. And what I wanted, one part. So therefore cherries, which has 13 parts, is going to be 13 by 30, which is 390 cherries, 390 fruits. And just like that, we pull up and we mash up 5 question 1. So tomorrow, please God, catch me around 12:30. We're gonna do algebra. Now you all could go and do the last 5 years of question 1's CSEC Maths to seal in the revision. Shout out to Guyana, shout out to Trinidad. Guyana and Trinidad in the chat. and Barbados, and St. Lucia, and Jamaica, and Dominica, and St. Kitts, and Bangladesh. What is this? Grenada, St. Kitts, Guyana, Jamaica, Dominica, Trinidad, Jamaica, Bangladesh, Barbados, St. Lucia. So look out tomorrow, people. Press like on the stream, let everybody know. Tomorrow, every midday we revising. I'm gonna bring in some other subjects and thing too. So today was just a little warm up to make sure everything working and we get everything going. More subjects coming. Love and blessings, people. Enjoy.